One, and we are. And here we are. We are back. Well, look at us. We
Hello.
were
Well,
gone.
well,
Everyone was
back,
traveling.
back, forwards, back.
Yeah, well, we're all screwed up because of the time change right now. So everybody's on there. Like, by the end of this month, we go to like a normal time change, which will be very exciting.
Yeah,
So
I was just trying to work out what time the Canadian art thing was
There
because
is no time, David.
there's no time, David. That's all of a sudden. There's no time. It's just a
It's
time is a make believe thing. There you
yeah.
go.
so because he
It's not
says it's
sub.
like 8:30 Central Time, and what's that Central Time US or Central Time? Do the Canadians are they on the same timeline as you
The
now?
Canadians are never going to be on the same timeline as me. Maybe they are as a country, but I am on my own timeline. So,
Yeah, no,
based on that, it's a whole thing.
I appreciate that, but just in
Yep.
general, what time is it in Canada now? I've no idea.
Can I tell you? I don't think they know. I think they're just getting indoor plumbing and electric. I think they're using a sundial and a candle. I don't know if Canada knows what time it
Yeah,
is.
Why you
But
mention Canada?
because we have a show called Canadian Art Today that
yeah,
comes on every
Okay.
Thursday, and David's trying to figure out what time he has to show up to do
yeah.
the show because of the time changes
Because
now all over
yeah,
the world.
because wait for it, it's not
Yeah.
on a Thursday. It's now on a Wednesday.
No,
So
no, they
there you go.
record on a Wednesday, but the show comes out on Thursday.
Oh, it's a Hollywood
It's a
Thursday.
Hollywood Thursday. Yes, it's a
Yeah,
Hollywood
because of
Thursday.
the Oscars.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah,
sure. Oh, if it wasn't for us, Oppenheimer would have never won. So there
yeah.
you go.
Really?
Sure, because we told everybody Oppenheimer was the best movie, and 6 months ago
Why
after
did
we
you do
saw it,
it?
that's it. I,
I thought that the poor thing, because there's a Greek guy involved there, the director. He's a Greek guy.
is he really okay? I thought
Yeah,
it was a good
Lanthimos.
movie.
He's.
He's
I thought
not
Barbie
Greek.
was a good. I thought Barbie was a good movie. It wasn't Oscar worthy, but I thought Barbie
You
was a
know
good movie.
which is the best movie I have watched this year, and
Schindler's List. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
it's not even mentioned in any kind of Oscars, and it's a British one actually. It's called All of Us Strangers. Have you heard about it?
Oh, I know it's too strange for me. No,
Yeah,
I haven't heard of it.
It's a really good movie. Really
Okay,
good movie. It's got a twisted plot in a way that leaves you thinking what really happened there, and you need
okay,
to watch it again. I searched the internet for interpretation, and
okay.
it was
yeah.
close to what I thought, but it gave me some more insight, and I want to watch it again.
All right.
I've watched Oppenheimer, of course. I didn't watch the poor
I liked
thing yet.
Oppenheimer. I will tell
Yeah, of
you, I
course.
watched
It's
it
an
and
epic
I loved
movie.
it. And well, I also read history books, so I know the ending. But I remember when it came out, the Financial Times was saying people felt distraught about the ending, and I'm like, well, read a friggin' history book. I mean, like, it's not a murder
Destroy.
mystery. We know what happens at the end. I mean, like, a
Yeah.
bomb goes off,
Well,
there's a boom. We know. I mean, like,
yeah.
this isn't like
Well,
like
Yeah,
how
okay, there
honestly,
was
stupid.
more than that story there. It was with
It was a love
the
story. It was
advisor.
great. It was wonderful.
it's a story of a small group of people deciding that they're going to split the atom and hoping, because theoretically it should be okay,
They didn't blow up
hoping
the world.
that they didn't split every atom everywhere at the same time. And
Right.
yeah, now we'll all be space dust now. So
Well,
We
the
wouldn't even
same
be here.
happened with the collider in Switzerland,
Oh
the
yeah,
yeah,
they were all
large
afraid it was
Switzerland.
going to create a
collider.
black hole and we're all going to
Yeah,
die.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we're still
Yeah, but
here.
There are
then
We're
so
still
many.
here.
There are so many stories and about the end of the world, but the
Yeah.
yeah,
world
but
is not
if
going
you
to
can
end. There is
imagine
no end in the way that we think.
Right, right,
in the
We
1940s, a small group of people make that decision.
right.
It's not like the
Well,
collider
you
is
know
something
that
different.
it was a race at the time because Hitler was also working on that stuff.
Oh
And
yeah, the
imagine
Nazi
what
guy
would
with the little
happen if
mustache.
if Hitler had it.
Well,
I
one of
mean,
his
Yeah,
scientists though said that when they worked I read a thing from a thing about the nuclear race with the Nazis in the U.S. and a lot of the scientists, the Nazi scientists, if you will, what they did is they purposely slowed things down because they realized that the crazy guy with the mustache would
You
be not
think
good
so?
for him to
Maybe.
have it. And they literally would slow things down or, purposely take their time on doing something or give wrong calculations so things wouldn't work. And then when they came
He
over
would
here
use
for
it
the race,
easily to
yeah, oh my God,
Russians, to
he would have
Americans.
wiped out, yeah, he would have wiped out the world. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I don't know if it worked out the best, but for let's say the last 60, 70 years, it worked out okay.
Well,
So we'll have to
unless you're
see.
some unless you're some small Polynesian island somewhere, which
Well,
case
yeah,
that's a
then
dream.
you're not. And then you got
Yeah,
Missile Boy now in North Korea, and he's playing with toys. They'll go boom boom in the
yeah.
night.
Well, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so it's interesting. But here's something interesting. We were talking about the show traveling, because you know how long it takes to get when I travel to where I go and what I do. And I will
Yeah.
say that a
It's the
colleague of
journey
mine,
that's important. It's
right,
the journey, not the time
yeah,
you take to
right,
get
right. But
there.
no, let
Yeah,
me explain.
sometimes it's
So
tiring
yeah, right, right.
journey.
Now but let me explain. A colleague of mine took Turkish Airways. And Turkish Airways always puts these beautiful ads out, how wonderful they are and how great they are and all
Yeah,
this.
yeah, that's
Turkish
Turkish.
Airways
Yeah,
sucks cock. Let me tell you how bad
yeah.
it is. They're in the front of
You
the
don't
bus.
have
They
to.
said
Don't
wait,
have
wait, no,
to.
no. The flight attendants were so rude. They didn't do anything. They threw the food at them. And not only that, but they lost their luggage. And
Oh yeah.
so
I remember.
United is a partner with Turkish Airlines, and United's like, well, we don't know where it is. It never left Istanbul. And my colleague is like, well, my shit's in there. Like, get it. And they're like, well, we don't know. And I'm figuring some Turkish person right now is going through that luggage. So Turkish Airlines, I'm sorry, but you suck. Your customer service sucks. You're the worst. I
Well,
would never fly them. Morgan Friedman does the ads for Turkish Airlines. Morgan, I'm going to assume that you have never flown Turkish Airlines, because if you did, you would
No,
not fly.
God no.
And if you're just in it for the money, pal, fly Emirates or Qatar.
Oh,
But
you think that
Turkish
they did it
Airlines, the
for
worst. Yeah,
culture?
he did it for culture. But yeah, Turkish Airlines, the worst. They lost the
the,
luggage. They're rude. It's like the
they are.
worst friggin'
It's
airline on the planet. I would never, ever fly
it's
Turkish
absolute.
Airline. If they
It's
gave me a free
absolutely
flight,
shit.
I wouldn't do it.
It's the
Yeah.
same. It's the same as the what's that? The shuttles. The holiday shuttles. Also from Turkish Corridon is what I think is what it
Right.
is here in Holland, and that's a Turkish thing. Yeah, should we say
You know,
challenging?
we,
I'll
we, we
leave it
here in
there.
Greece, we
Not to
share a
lose
lot
my
of
luggage.
we here in Greece we share a lot of things with Turkish people. You know, we are
You lose
literally
luggage?
very similar. No, no, I mean the mentality of the people also,
Oh,
and
okay.
we live at the same geographical
Right.
place. You know, we
Yeah.
are neighbors.
Yeah.
Greece has been for for centuries under the occupation of Ottomans, which are the Turkish actually.
Right.
And I tell you that I understand them that we do the same, but we do it in an European way, you
Right.
know,
Right.
the
No,
European version. They
no,
don't
you
hide
do.
at all. They're Asians and
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
The
so.
Turkish.
The Greeks do it in style, don't they? That's the thing,
Well,
Like,
it's the
you know,
European. We know we are in
well,
between Italy and so we
yeah,
have it's a
yeah,
mixture of things, but we have a
Right.
lot of things like that in common. You can see it like in the culture everywhere. We have very similar food. We have similar expressions when we talk, etc. Um, and we are, you know, a lot of talking, not so much doing. You know, a lot of talking. We are the best, you know. But when it comes to practical things, I mean, it's a very big discussion. I could talk
yeah.
about it for hours because it's also a political
Well,
thing. Like
I
we
was
are complaining
watching.
all the time about the
Yeah,
politics. We are
Right.
complaining so much, and we are voting for the same goddamn it politicians. You know, with the guys that we are complaining about all the time. And we
yeah.
also
Well,
say that there is no alternative. Well, look, the alternative will come when you decide to vote for some other
Right.
guy. You know.
well,
But
I was watching the news. I mean, they seem to be very. I mean, your riot police seem to be pretty efficient. I was watching that at the weekend. Against
Well,
all the
they take
students.
riding is in Greece like Olympic sport. So they
So
treat it
they're
like they're
out.
going for the gold
They're
medal
out
every
there.
time.
Like in Holland, before they get the stick out and they say, "Look, this is a stick, guys," and they have this
Yeah.
discussion about, if you're very rude to me, I'm going to whack you with it. But here's my email address. You can put a complaint in, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Always sort of, oh, they just hit him. But I mean, like, when you see like good old-fashioned riot police, the Germans or the Russians. I mean, they're pretty good at rioting. I mean, they just get the stick out and start whacking everybody, the good, bad, and the indifferent. And it was the
So
same
the
in
South
Athens at the
Korea,
weekend.
the South Korean riot police kind of do the
Are they?
same
Are they
thing.
good?
So
Are
do
they good?
Japan. They're good. They're good
Good
riot
riot.
police.
Yeah.
They're good riot
Well,
police. This is funny. We're going to do a contest. Let's rate the world's riot police. Tell us if
there
your
you go.
riot police are better than the next, and we're going to rate it on brutality, not kindness. Who beats you the hardest? If your riot
What
police beat you the hardest, they win. So there you go.
what kind of poll is this? Is this looking at the future, not talking about the time travel? We said, are you implying something
I think the
in a
riot
world
police.
scale, like riot
Yes.
police? Let's rate the riot police. So when
Yep.
the hell unleashed everywhere, where to go?
It's like if
Well,
you
I
don't
tell you that
know,
the
we're going to
Greek
help
one,
you.
we have a lot of
It'll be
riots in
like-
general. We have a
Do you?
Well, how about this?
tradition.
Look,
Yeah, of
like,
course, we have traditions in rioting.
Let's forget TripAdvisor. Let's go
Right.
Riot Advisor. I mean,
Yeah,
God.
right. Well, the
Which-
best riots now.
Yeah,
Where
well,
to
Greece
riot?
apparently.
Where
Don't you have the best riots apparently because you have lots of riots.
we have a tradition
French.
in rioting. We have a tradition.
Really?
Look, Greece. I will tell you something about Greece. In one word, Greece is the most anarchist civilized country. The
Okay.
first world country. It's the most,
that's
chaotic.
a
I
bold-
would say.
That's the bold statement against the French, though, Adam. That you know.
The French don't do anything. They lay there all day and they puff a little cigarette and they go, oh, bonjour. They
We
drink a
have
little wine and
rioting in
bread.
the schools.
You have
We have
rioting
rioting in the schools all the
Oh.
time. They just
number one.
and the government decided, to the government decided to have police in the university, and we were talking about this, in the media for so long about come on, the police in the universities, which there is in other countries. It's normal, and nothing really happened because if you go to a university in Greece, you will see millions of on the walls, like graffiti about political stuff and communists and not communists, capitalists and this party and this party. There is a lot of involvement of politics with in the universities here. And for a long time, because of the constitutions, we did not have any private universities, and the government now voted for the opening and the law that allows for private universities now in Greece.
Okay.
And there were a lot of, and there are riotings, of course. There are,
So I have a question. So if you have a private university, that means you have a private riot.
No, they're rioting.
There will be no rioting there.
Okay, there'll be no.
But
only free schools. Okay.
It's the opt out. You can opt out of rioting by going to.
Yeah, if you want to study, you go to the private university. You pay.
Yeah.
You pay.
Yeah.
Because the universities are free. It's so-called
And then
free.
you
Also,
can take riot classes, I suppose.
That's
Yeah.
good. So basically, number one place to go for a riot is Greece. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think so.
It's an Olympic sport. I think so.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get this to do it again. I guess
it's a tradition. It's a tradition. It's happening all the time. We have dates when you know that the riotings will be happening, like 17th of November. It's it's an anniversary we have here when the end of the junta in 74 ended.
Okay.
So there was rioting at that time in the Polytechnic University. And
So keep it going.
some students died at that time. So we have this anniversary. So there are riotings there, and there is like a march with people going to the American embassy because they believe that they help the junta to stay. That
we did. Let's just be blunt. We
well,
did it. Whatever's wrong,
it's true.
we did.
It's true. There's some parts are saying that yes, the government at the time they wanted the junta because of for many
Now, when
reasons.
are you saying Honda or Honda? Because if it's a Honda,
we
we
say
want a Honda.
junta. We call it
Junta.
Junta.
Dictatorship. Dictatorship.
Right. No. So basically, if you need to riot and you don't know what you're doing, you go over to Greece, and then it's like an Olympic sport. So there you go.
And you know something? I predict that there'll be more rioting in the future, the near future,
You're
I
not
believe.
predicting a riot, are you? There's a song in there somewhere. If you're predicting
Quiet
a riot.
Yeah,
high
I
potential
predict.
riots.
I
High
mean,
potential
strong
riots.
riotings because there were days. There were
Yeah.
in 2008, a police killed a 16-year-old guy, a young
Okay.
guy, and
Right.
there were 3 days rioting in Athens. Like
Wow.
burning in the center was burning like that.
All right.
It was in December, I think, at that
Wow.
time, and it was just before the crisis, and it was one of the signs of the crisis.
Okay.
And in a way, it's happening the same thing because now we have a government now which actually does not have an opponent. And this is
Okay.
bad thing because in democracy, you need a government, but you need
Yeah.
also another party at least which is strong enough so that they have some opponent in the parliament and with
Kind of like
about the
America, we have
laws.
Republicans and Democrats and crazy people. So we have that. So it's like, yeah,
Uh,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, but
that's a political party by itself.
A crazy
well,
people party. Yes,
no,
it's called the Republicans.
I think the
It's
crazy people is spread over the two. I think sort of somewhere in the
Yes.
middle.
Yeah,
Crazy
yeah, yeah.
Democrats.
But I will
and
say that
Republicans.
Biden's State of the Union address was very good. Joe shows like he's got a little spunky. So we'll see. I don't know if he's going to
Yeah.
beat Trump, but he showed like he tried to do some stuff. So I'm
Well,
excited. So we'll have to
he was
see.
clever.
But we
He
don't do
didn't.
rioting yet. We're not big into
No.
rioting here because we're still a young
Well,
democracy, not like Greece.
if
But at some point, I'm sure we're going to learn from
we are
you,
younger
and we're going to
democracy than
right.
America.
Right. We're gonna
Well,
we're gonna
just
listen.
wait
We are
until
good at
Trump.
everything. We're gonna
And I'll
take up
tell you,
rioting.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
something that you are more a democracy than Greece. You are more a democracy, I believe.
No.
There's more freedom in a way. In Greece, there is the feeling of freedom. Like you feel
Right.
that you can do anything here and not be punished
Okay.
by
Like
the
rioting. Yeah.
yes. And that's why it's a problem. Also,
Okay.
it's a problem of democracy actually because people who have power do whatever they like, and they do it really.
Oh yeah. I
That's
mean,
why
look
I'm
at
here.
Haiti.
I like to do whatever I like.
That's some serious rioting going on down there. I mean, it's so bad that the Americans had to airlift some important people out, and the Germans. That's gone. That's complete anarchy.
And just to say to I think it's Dawn who has just joined, said hello to us. Hello, Dawn, and please give us a comment about rioting. We would like to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Maybe he wants to tell us who he
it could be a
thinks
girl
has-
too. You never know.
Could be. Well, sorry. Let's be gender.
Let's now
gender
you're going to
neutral.
cause a riot
We
with
don't.
Dawn and all her friends. Thanks
We
a
have
lot. Now we're going
democracy
to have
here,
rioting on our
real.
show.
So,
Yeah.
did you say Dawn or Dawn?
Dawn, DAWN.
DAWN. Oh, it'd be Dawn, as in the dawn of, as in a girl's name. Sounded like
Now I know why
Dawn
people
to
riot.
me.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's only because you can't speak properly, Stephen. I mean,
I
that's
don't.
the
I'm
problem.
learning English next week. I'm going to take another class. So,
Yeah.
but it's very interesting where democracy, if you will, well, if you really look at, if you go back further than that, if you look at Mesopotamia and all that, you're looking in China and whatever, blah, 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 blah. In Greece, where we think it kind of started, right? Their way to get things better is we're just going to riot. Like if there's a problem, we're going to riot. We're going to burn this down. It's kind of like, when back in the 70s, when like the Yankees or the Mets would win something or the Phillies would, they like burn the city down. They got so excited because they won, which I never really got. Why would you do that? But anyway, in
It's
Greece,
a mentality of the people.
I guess.
It's
Well, I think the people-
explosive
Yeah.
mentality. We are explosive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now they do it every weekend at the football or soccer.
Yeah. We had
football.
problems for some kind of months. I don't remember because I don't follow football so much. Because there were
Narcos.
problems like rioting with the police, etc. They closed the stadiums for the people, and now I think this week they opened again.
Oh, by the way,
And,
Dawn just wants you to know, David, that she is a lady. Dawn wrote, I am.
Oh,
See,
You're
Dawn
right.
wrote, I am. She wrote, I am a lady, and I said, yes,
Yeah.
we figured that part out. So.
Yeah. Well, Dawn, can I just say actually that it was not my error. It was the fact that Stephen pronounced your name with a New York accent, and it sounded like Dawn to me, plus some Dawn.
Can't get that.
Her name is Dawn, I take it, as in.
It's dawn, like the morning, right?
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
morning,
exactly.
right? And here's the
But-
best
Yeah.
thing: she is not going to riot over it. However, the people in Greece that are going to watch the rebroadcast tomorrow morning, they're going to riot. There you go, because that's what they do.
Oh, they will riot before it.
I predict the
Yeah.
riot. There you go.
There you go. That's too funny. That's too
Well,
funny.
there'll be riotings, I tell you, in Greece and in
Yeah.
other countries. So you can see that
Yeah.
the West has a problem. It's we have a
Yeah.
problem.
Everything's a problem. That's the problem. It's like we're
Yeah, we
not.
need
It's.
problems. We need humans need problems. We are in
I
a
do we? Can't we just all get along? Can't we all just
No,
hey, let's just all
no.
there's
get
no money,
along and like
That's
no money in that. I can't.
this
I
sounds
can't.
like paradise, and paradise
paradise
sounds
would
like a very boring place.
I'll tell you where paradise is, Dubai. In Dubai, everybody gets along. They have flooding there right now. I was just talking to a friend of mine there this morning, and everybody's helping
Is
each
it a
other.
paradise for women though?
Yes, Dubai is. Dubai is. I'm not talking about Saudi Arabia, which
Do they
I'm
vote or
yes, the women can vote. They vote with their husband's credit card. And the mistresses and sugar babies the same. They have money, they
Yeah,
vote.
they
Everybody,
vote
let me
with
tell you,
the husband's
they
credit card?
yeah,
that's right.
and
They
that's
treat
the best way to
women
vote.
in
You know.
Dubai, just so you were clear, they treat women in Dubai better than they treat the men because the women are the one who shop. And when I was at the Dubai
Ah,
Mall, they couldn't do enough for every single female, whether she is 5 years old or 5,000 years old. They couldn't do it. Guys, they don't care about. There's like, yeah, guys in like we're in the Jacob and Coke store. They don't care about the men. It's like, yeah, you want a watch? Here's a watch. It's $3 million, whatever. A woman walks in, yes, my dear, how may I help you? So yes, the women get treated like gold over there. So it's a very impressive,
yeah, but
I'm a
if
bit.
it
I'm
impressive
a
is
bit.
thing.
because they are shopping,
I'm a bit disturbed about the 5,000-year-old Emiratis that are wandering around. I mean,
Well, can I tell you? They look good. They're good skin. I think it's
yeah,
the whatchamacallit, that desert air. Yeah.
Botox.
The Botox, yes. So,
Yeah,
but no, it's they treat women. That's a Shangri-La. That is one place where everybody gets along. I do not see anytime I go there. I never see anybody being disrespectful. No arguing, no fighting, no shouting, no this, the but. It's just nice.
but do they have riot police? I mean, they
I
probably
don't
they
think
don't.
they
don't
need it.
need.
You know what? They have drones, however. They have drones that when something
Riot
happens, a
drones.
drone comes out. Yes, a
Ah,
riot drone that comes and gets you. So
yeah. Well,
they
that's
don't
good.
like
tolerate it.
like in
Exactly.
China.
Like in China,
Yeah,
right? In China,
just
But
they have riot police.
out of
They're
the
called
sky.
tanks. So the riot police in China are just called tanks. They just gun you down and then you're over.
Yeah,
So
allegedly,
it's a crazy
allegedly.
world. Allegedly gun you down, right?
Unless of course you're holding a shopping bag, in which case you have at least
A
half
magic
an
power.
hour's worth. Yeah, at least half an hour's worth of life before you turn two-dimensional. But
Right.
there you go.
But the guy from Tenement Square never died. I don't think they killed him. I think he just went to prison
Then
for a little bit.
oh, I think he's dead.
yeah, right, yeah.
Him in his
He's
shopping
I
dead.
bag.
think
No. He gave an interview like about 4 or 5 years ago on one of the
but we
anniversaries
don't.
of it.
Yeah, but we never
How
knew
we
who he
know that
was.
it's him? There was no
Yeah,
close up.
exactly. Yeah, we don't know who he
No,
was.
he's dead
But
for sure. It's for sure
All
dead.
right.
yeah,
All right, maybe. I don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean, if it was a plastic shopping bag, it would have, it would have rotted away anyway by now. So it wouldn't be a lot of good to him. This is in a
Well,
museum somewhere. That's a thing.
I don't
Maybe
know.
we could put out a universal hunt for the Tiananmen Square shopping bag. Find out whatever happened to it.
That was all about the Chinese rioting. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, and the Chinese handled riots very nicely. They don't. There's no reason to bring out riot police. You can just bring out some tanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just
So
kill them all. That's it.
yeah.
We
So
don't
no
need
different.
anybody
No
to
different.
question any kind of power that we have.
But think about what's going on just globally like that. Like all the countries are getting like crazy, or as we say in Yiddish, Hazarai, right? They're all nuts. They're all like the people are just getting fed up. They're just fed up and tired with stupid leaders and stupid decisions. Even though most people are ostriches and stick their head in the sand, I think people are just getting tired. I think they're just like, we're done. Like, can't we have somebody with a brain? I mean, and if you think
Well,
about
they
most
have
leaders are
brains.
kind of
It's not that they don't have. Politics is a dirty thing because you need to balance a lot of things, a lot of
okay,
groups of people with different
right,
interests, with different stuff, and they know things that we don't know.
right,
Like, for example, I'll tell you something that if the AI goes the way it goes, it's fast and everything, and it will be given for free to people to use the way they want and everything like
right,
that, they're gonna go nuts because it's something they don't understand, and it goes faster, much faster than people can understand things.
right.
That leaves a lot of room for for usage that will not be good for us. in
Right.
any way. And the we need to have the people, into not being in unrest somehow.
Right.
So how you do it? How you manage to make people not be crazy, to not riot, to not. You just keep them in a stable level of. I
Stupidity.
mean, stupidity of you throw them a lot of tech stuff,
Right.
to like the Spanish did to the Indians, the
Right. Right.
shiny things like that. They were giving
The
them.
same thing we do that to David. We give David a shiny toy every day, and he's like, "Ooh, shiny toy." So
Yeah.
we do the same thing.
Shiny
Yes.
toy.
Yeah, I understand. So,
Yeah.
but no,
Well,
it's
So
I'll tell
true.
you
They
what. I, I'll tell you what,
well,
guys. As a, as everybody knows, of course, who regularly watches this show, I'm Church of England, so
oh God,
we've got all our
we're
ducks in a
screwed.
row. But I was quite impressed at the weekend when the Pope came out and said, "Look, it's now time when we need some white flags." He was talking about
Really?
Ukraine and talking about Russia.
Okay.
And and I can say this because I'm not Catholic. We've had some pretty, flaky popes. I mean, you had one who was in the Nazi youth. I mean, blimey. I mean, we've had everything thrown at us in my
Right.
lifetime. But this particular gentleman is Argentinian, I think. Very
Mhm.
frail now, but he seems to be okay. Let's put it in the middle. It seems to be okay. And he came out at the weekend and he said, "Look, guys, you're not going to win this war." Said to the Ukrainians, "You're not going to win the war. You need now to stand up, get up and wave a white flag. It's not a white flag of surrender." He said it's a white flag of diplomacy, because that would appear that is actually the history of the white flag is to talk and not necessarily to
yeah, but
Wait a minute. So
it's
wait a minute. Let me get this straight. The guy with the pointy hat is telling the
yeah.
Ukrainians to wave a white flag so they can have diplomatic talks with the country
Yeah.
who's invaded them. That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
and at the same time to the Russians as well. He's saying the same message, because I mean, if you think about it, like the people on the Crim were
Hmm.
predominantly Russian ethnic, from Russian background anyway. The
Right.
Donbass as well. The
Right.
war in the Ukraine is only going to come to any sort of end when there's a compromise about
There won't be.
the
You got
land grab.
Putin. Putin doesn't want to compromise. Putin wants to bring this back to the 1700 border
Yeah,
lines. It's not happening.
but
Putin's
you
thinking
know,
like, listen, Putin's Russian. Putin's no better than Hitler. He wants to take the Ukraine, then he wants to go to Poland because he knows if Trump gets in, there's no NATO. And NATO doesn't have the balls to actually fight. Because if NATO had the
uh,
balls, NATO would be in the Ukraine right now doing shit. And they don't.
no,
So
no, no,
that's a
David,
problem.
no,
Stephen. I don't think that
no,
NATO will be over.
no.
They're
I,
gonna
I
kill
don't think
him
it'll
if
be
he's
over.
going to. They will.
But
They will
I
kill
don't think
him
I don't know
if
if they'll
they're
kill
going
him, but
to
I don't think
break
NATO will
NATO.
be
What
over. I just
what
don't
will
think
happen?
NATO has the guts to actually go to a war right
Well,
now.
if he goes to war with NATO, the first thing they're going to do is bomb the crap out of Moscow, and that's going to happen one way or another. And whether or not it's mutual destruction, I don't know. But I honestly don't think. I mean, Putin had warned NATO for a long time, guys, stop all this. You're
You know,
making me feel really
when he first
uncomfortable
said
about what's
about
happening.
this, the problems, he said it when there was the bombing of Serbia
Yeah,
Hmm.
and with the Kosovo, because this is what happened there. Like he said, look, because they have the Russians have good ties with Serbians, etc. Say, look, don't make independent the Kosovo because you will unleash Pandora box. Because
Hmm.
there are a lot of places where belong to other country, but the people there are native of the country that it's neighboring there.
Right.
There is in many countries happen the situation like that. For example, there are minorities here in Greece that we call them Muslims, but the Turkish they call it Turks.
yeah,
Hmm.
It's in Thrace,
Right.
and the same happened in Cyprus, in a way. And
yeah,
he was saying, don't do it, and you can see in one way the results. So
Right.
when you do something, you need to look, in the future. That's your job, actually. When you're a politician, you are the government, especially in the U.S., right?
yeah,
At a time when the U.S. was the only superpower, because
Right.
now it's
Right.
not the only.
No.
Now it's more
We are
multipolar world.
right.
Well, I wasn't.
And
I brought
because
this
of those
subject.
decisions also, because
So, Adam, I brought this subject up not to support the war, not to support
no, I know.
Putin, but I thought for the first time now we have a religious leader who is a Christian religious leader talking to both of the Orthodox churches and saying, "Look, guys, enough is enough now. Where's this? This is not going to end. This is like 1418 all over again. Everybody, they're all dug in,
Yeah,
and
it's an old kind
and
of school of thinking in
yeah,
politics. It's an old.
yeah,
But the problem
and
here's the problem. I
he's
agree
not
that they
never
should
going to be able
talk,
to
but
annex the
right, but
Ukrainians now.
they're
After all
not
these,
gonna talk. They're not. It should literally just be like, okay, it's like a chess game. It's a stalemate. Go back to your corners and just enough is enough. But Putin won't do that because Putin's trying to flex his muscle. The Ukrainian president, I give him credit. I mean, he's going toe to toe with them. But at some point, it's either they have to say we're done, and they do like we did with North Korea. We have a 50-year ceasefire, and we just go our separate ways,
yeah,
or somebody's going to have to go take it to the next level because
oh,
you
they
know
do
they're
what
not
they
going to
did
sit
in
at a
What's
table
the
and speak.
next level?
what
Hey, you got it.
you
Next,
know,
no, it'll be nuclear.
yeah. Oh, they
No,
do
that's
what they
not
did in
going to
Greece,
happen.
in Cyprus. We have like this blue zone in between. That's
So there'll be something like that. Yeah.
Okay,
but there are
well, then
a
they
lot
should
of
do it.
ethnic Russian Ukrainians in the Donbass who would be quite happy just to be integrated into a larger
Yeah.
Russia.
Now the
Right.
question is: do you think that the area that Putin has conquered will go back to Ukraine?
Well, that's
They
the
would
point.
have
You
to
see,
do that because the Ukrainians aren't. I don't think the Ukrainians
It's not
government
going
is
to
going to settle
happen.
for not
It's not.
no,
It's
not
not going to
Crimea.
happen.
Let's just say you keep Crimea
The rest
and
also
everything else.
no.
And see,
and the
that's the
Donbass.
problem. Then no country wants to lose territory, so it'd be like Canada coming in and invading
Yeah,
Yeah,
top of America, right?
and
So that's
the same applies to Russia because they believe
right.
it's their territory now.
yeah,
I know, but the
yeah.
problem is it's
And
technically
the
yes and technically
Ukrainians,
no.
the
So
Ukrainians have been having a civil war with the Donbass since the 80s.
yeah.
You know, so there's always been tension there. They've never
I
felt that they're Ukrainian.
I think we've
So
invited. Listen, Putin talked to Tucker Carlson. You know, Putin. Listen, I know
yeah,
you're a big macho guy. You should come on this show and we'll talk politics without
yeah,
Tucker Carlson and a bunch of bullshit. And you can come talk to us, okay? And we'll discuss the Ukrainian war and the Ukrainian president. You can come on too. So between the both of you, let's see who has balls and wants to come on Adam on the Eve live. And there you go. And we're not going to tell you what we're going to ask you. Just ask me whatever
About art
questions.
mainly.
Yeah, we'll talk about art. But I mean, come on the show
yeah.
and we'll ask you questions about your war and
Oh,
why you guys are doing it.
and time travel, of course. You know what
And
would
Well,
time
he said
traveling,
it.
you could,
yes.
He
yeah,
said what he's doing the war. He
I
said
know,
it
but
in
he can come on our show and
the
do it though.
interview.
Yeah, until he comes on our
Well,
show, it
he's
doesn't
going to
count.
repeat himself. So
Yes, he should repeat. Well, listen, you're a dictator. You repeat yourself every day with the same crap. You know what I mean? Like every speech is the same shit he gives every single day. The Ukrainian president comes here and he makes speeches. It's the same crap every day. They just put it in a different box. So let's have a dialogue. Explain to us laymen why. Let's see what your thoughts are about going forward. Let's see what he thinks about Donald Trump. Let's see what he thinks of Biden. Let's just talk about the globe in general for an hour. And he can have his little interpreter tell
but
him whatever we're
you will
saying. That's
not
it.
hear actually the truth because I think the truth is much deeper about that. It's not only a
I
war
agree.
about Russia and Ukraine. It's also a war about West and East. It's also
Yes.
a
Oh, yeah.
war
Let's ask him about
multi.
that then. What does he think about the West and the
Oh, he'll
East?
not tell you about that.
Yes, he will.
Well,
Putin has no
He'll tell
filter.
you what he'll tell you. He'll tell you that you in the West
Not
are
me.
disintegrated.
No
You're losing
morals
your
and no
identity.
values. Yeah, we
Yeah,
already know that.
you're
Stop.
gay
We know.
people all over making now. There's like I said before that or I didn't that there is a law now in Greece that the LGBT people can get married and stuff.
Who
He is not
cares?
going. Well, he
I never say
does.
that.
he
He
does.
does
Here's
because he believes that this is
he believes it's wrong. I agree with him
decadence,
100.
of the
Listen, and
society.
and that's okay. And the good thing about our show is everyone's allowed to have their opinion, and if that's what he says, then that's fine. I personally
And
don't care.
another dimension to that is what I said before about a little about the future and the AI
Right,
thing and everything.
right.
Which political system will prevail actually? Because one will prevail unless we got to totally divide the world like it was a Cold
Right.
War. But
Oh,
this
that'd
is
be awesome.
well, I don't know if it'll be awesome and it'll be allowed, because how we can live like without China? Germans are already have a problem economical, and
Yeah.
they sell a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to China, and there is,
And America too.
Anybody who trades with
Remember?
China is having a problem because what they do is they do economic blackmail. They did it with Australia with the wine when Australia took the side of America on something on that the Pan American whatever.
yeah,
They
but
stopped selling. They stopped
it's
buying
working on
wine.
some
They did your.
elements.
It works on every level. And this is one thing I will say about Trump. I don't want us to be an isolation, back to isolationists. But I think America, not to make America great again and all that stupid bullshit, but America needs to understand that, at some point, if you put everything you're dependent on, just say China and India and this, and you do nothing but take, and you don't develop or you don't do this or you don't build, at some point, they have you over a barrel. So America needs to get their head out of their ass, and people need to say, hey, you know what? We need to have manufacturing again, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. And it doesn't make us any less of a country, but now we actually have to pay people a real wage. And we can't use 6-year-old Malaysian children in a factory who we pay 3 cents an hour to. And that's the problem
Exactly.
America has.
Yeah.
And that's where I will give Trump
you see how
credit for that.
complicated it is. You see how
It is very
complicated it
complicated.
is.
Yeah.
It's
Very
complicated.
complicated.
Yeah.
It's not
You
easy.
can't,
There's
you can't
And on the
imagine
other
how-
hand, look, Trump is a guy who's actually saying, let's make America great again. And he's against globalism. But America became great because of
Yeah.
globalism,
Right.
because it was the strongest world
imperialism.
exporter of stuff. And, he wants to
Imperialism.
kitize or saying about the European, if you disintegrate NATO, you don't have the Europeans anymore like your allies.
Yeah.
You just
You
don't have
have
them. The Europeans have immediately create a strategic military system immediately because they have Russians.
Right.
After some times, because they will start to think. Because look a little ahead. Now the European would say, now we're independent again. We are not with America. We're not with Russia. We have to be again allies with some. With who would they go? They would go with Russia, because they need the Russian energy. And I don't know how it will go. This might be also the resolution of the easiest way to resolve the problem there is to be allies with Russia. You understand it?
I don't think so, because Russia will sell their oil to everybody because they need money. So I don't think they care if you're an ally, because there's a book out, I can't remember it, I read it, but it talked about how Germany and Israel and Saudi Arabia and whatever, when everybody needs energy, when they need oil, it's amazing how they manage to get the oil to the countries they're having a war with. So I don't think Russia is going to say to Europe, "You cow to us." I think they're just going to be like
oil now than
ever. Right? Because they need the money, because the Western countries have blocked all their money. And where's everybody going? When I'm in Dubai, I see more Russians in Dubai than I ever saw in Russia. You know why? Because Dubai is like Monte Carlo and these other countries. They're like, we don't care. It's not our problem. It's not our fight. We have no dog in this fight. This ridiculous stuff where you block people's money and you do this, you do it. Listen, it's a government fighting another government. If I'm a Russian citizen, there's no reason for you to block my money, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'm sure there's more involved. But to me, it's like, so if America, right? No,
it's
but
not that easy.
If America goes to war with Canada and I live in Canada, you're going to block my money? I mean, what I'm trying to say is
it's one of the weapons you have. Why not?
It's a bad weapon. It's not really, because all the Russians are just going elsewhere with their money.
What you mean, that the bullets are good weapons? There are no.
The bullets are bad weapons. But my point is that
all the weapons are bad.
But this thing where you take it out on the public is bad. So Putin's actually smart in the way that I'm selling oil. I'm bringing money in. I don't know if he's helping the people with it, but he's bringing money in. Whatever they're doing to their economy, they're doing something. He's trying. So
I think that Putin's main objective, like in the future, because he's not stupid, he's a very, very clever person, and look, he overcame all the problems that the West imposed on them. He overcame. And they were saying by themselves that at the beginning we had a problem. It was unstable things in Russia at the moment. But now he also had enemies inside the country, But they are slowly, disappearing or
Well,
dying.
they all disappear because they die. But now they're going to have an election.
Yeah, but
he's going to
look,
win, of course, because he's gotten rid of all his opposition.
well, there's exactly because there's no democracy. And you were saying that Dubai is nice, etc. Do they have democracy? They don't have.
I don't care. It's a nice place. I'm good with it.
So you see, one of the issues that's what's going on in Ukraine is this also, that two political systems, one democracy, or at least so-called democracy, or at least what's left of democracy, but it's still kind of democracy. And the other system, that is Russia, China, Korea, Iran, Dubai, even Saudi Arabia, that they have a political system, that there is a leader that you cannot question. You cannot say any bad thing about him because he'll end in a jail, or afterwards.
Oh, that's Thailand too. Thailand's the same thing. You say something bad about the king, you go to jail.
But the world, it's divided like this. And look also historically. Historically, the political system was like that, actually. I mean, king, the king was there. If you question king, you're dead. King, along with church, the church is also a tool to manipulate the people, the masses, which in a way we need them. We need, I'm sorry to say, but it's not, it's deeper thought, but we need the manipulation of the people, because otherwise they will go crazy. One of the objectives of the religion is to have people quiet in a way that they have a meaning. There's a God. There's an afterlife. There's I need to be good.
No, that's
they use this tool.
That's a difference. They're trying to scare them into submission.
Yeah, but they control it this way. They control it. So there is no rioting that we're talking at the beginning.
And it's not an Olympic sport.
Religion brings an element of comfort.
So I think that the biggest what's on stake on this conflict and other conflicts, because this is not the only one. There are others in Africa now, because Russia has been there in Maghreb, Mali, all this below Sahara countries that French were involved a lot, and there is a rival now between Russia and France there. So it's a global thing. It's a global thing about what kind of political system will prevail, and I think, unfortunately, I say this, that democracy is not going to win. Because democracy, I don't know who said it. Was one of the Greeks, I think, of the ancient Greeks. Democracy is the greatest of systems, but it needs educated people who are thinking.
Right.
Like, for example, which is the country that has, like, let's say, the best democratic system that works, that is functional? Switzerland. It's if we read and drift a little more to the system that they have, you will realize that they have a great democratic systems. They vote for everything that is happening in the locally, and whatever they choose, it's that. And you never know the leader. It's a country that doesn't need leaders. The country democracy means the people are the leader.
Right, but here's the problem.
Also have conscription. And I'm going to, just because I think we're going to come to the end of this pretty soon, I've got to throw a conspiracy in here. Why would you ask yourself, would Boris Johnson fly to Venezuela on a private jet to talk to the Venezuelan prime minister, which he said, or the president, which he called, I think 4 or 5 years ago, a thug and, a gangster? Because he's also, Boris Johnson is also a big friend of the Ukrainians, and the Venezuelans are also big friends of Putin. Is Boris Johnson trying to broker a deal for peace, or is he just gone there to dip his toe in some Venezuelan oil?
He knows something.
We all know what he's doing.
But it's strange. It's strange that he's having connection and business with those guys there. Guys that they're theoretically oppose.
Yeah.
So you see, it's very, very complicated. We're living in a more and more complicated world that we don't understand, and I'll tell you that those who even rule it don't understand, and so nobody will understand anything because of the AI.
The British Foreign Office didn't understand it because they didn't even know he was going. He actually sent
There
a
you go.
text when he was on a jet halfway there. Said, "Oh, by the way, yeah, guys, I'm going off to Venezuela to talk to the president."
There you go. Well, let me just say
Okay,
this to Boris Johnson. I apologize.
he's an
Zelensky, I
American.
think
He's an American. Did you
is
know
the
that?
president's name in Ukraine, and Putin. All three of you are more than welcome to come on Adam on the Eve, so we can
Zelensky.
ask you
Yeah,
questions.
Zelensky. Yeah,
Zelensky, all of them. And what's really interesting about this Boris Johnson conspiracy, which is true because we brought it up here, so anything we say here is true. Um,
yeah.
it's just the world the way it is. And to Adam's point, democracy has to be run by smart people. The smart people have left the room, and now it's a bunch of thugs and bullies that are running things,
I'm
and
not
it's
talking
fear
that
mongers.
the leaders have to be smart people. They are anyway, in a
The
way.
people,
The people
nah,
need
the
to
people, but the
be
people are
educated.
ostriches, and I've said this before. The
Yeah.
people are ostriches. They stick their head in the sand. They don't want to know what's going on. As
Yeah,
long as they have food,
exactly.
water, and whatever
And
else,
they
they're
don't have
happy.
actually. Yeah, okay, they have the basic,
They
I
do.
think.
They
This
have a little bit, right? And that's it.
this is the
But
last
nobody.
piece of my conspiracy theory.
Uh-oh.
Boris Johnson
Yes.
is an American. He has an American passport.
Really?
Born in the US. Born in the US. So what's he doing there?
So it's
Answers
the
on a answers
Illuminati
on a
and the
po-
lizard people all
ans-
over again.
answers on a postcard, please. That's what
Maybe
I'm saying.
he's just doing private business. That's it.
Yeah, right.
There's no such thing as private business when you go on a
With a
There
private
is.
jet.
president, with a
There
with a
is actually.
president.
It's the only thing that there is.
That's true.
Private
Yeah.
business. There's nothing
Private
else.
business. That's true. That's very
Well,
true. Very
the only
true.
private business
It's-
I have in my life is 10 minutes in the morning.
So
I've had a
Putin has a
breakfast.
private business. The other,
Yeah. They all
in
have
fact,
private
I'll tell you
businesses.
something else.
Yeah.
Beside all the things that you said about Putin, and I agree, of course, etc.
Yeah.
He he's more, and also historical. Maybe you don't agree to what he's saying, etc.
Right.
But he's very clear about his stand, what he
Yes.
wants to do,
Yep.
and he's doing it slowly and slowly.
Mhm.
We don't know what actually NATO or Americans really want to do.
Right.
I don't know. I don't understand.
I
I know what Putin
I
wants to do.
yeah. Well, Putin's made it
Okay,
very clear.
the general things they want to prevail, but they were prevailing. They
Yeah.
are the main the strongest power. But how? What's the vision? We don't have any vision. But Putin,
Right.
what he's doing, he's putting a vision to his people and other, because there are in Greece and in other countries, and there are more and more, supporters of what he's doing in America.
Right.
I was
Right.
looking at the comments in Twitter, after the interview, Carlson, and I
Yeah.
was seeing comments that some years ago would be considered to be traitor, saying this about Russia and stuff like
Right, right.
this. Like they're openly with Russia.
Right.
I mean, Americans. You understand
right.
it? Which by default
listen,
it was.
It'd be a
So
traitor.
what they want to impose a political system like Russia in America. There's a
Right,
clash of systems. There's a clash of ideas right
But
now.
that's Trump. Trump, if Trump gets in, he will put that there for them. This will be Nazi Germany, 1930 all over again, 1940. He's already told everybody what he's going to do. He's like Putin. He's telegraphing exactly what he's going to do. So they'll have their wish. They'll have a Russia. They'll have a dictator. It'll be Trump, and that's
Yeah.
it. There won't be a democracy anymore. We're done.
Yeah,
And so
that's yes,
there.
it's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
saying.
Right.
I find it
if
very
Trump gets
hard for
in, this will be
democracy
Russia.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to survive.
So
I agree.
I find
what we need to do now then is to make sure you get all your votes in for the best riot police, because when the dictators get in,
so that you don't get too much smashed.
yeah,
I don't know why it won't work now. I want it to go. I want it to do that thing again, and it won't do it.
Yeah.
Ah, man,
yeah.
it doesn't love me.
That's good.
So, but yeah, but
You
we
only
do.
get-
But
you only get one visual orgasm per show, Stephen. I think.
okay, I get that. But anyway, so yeah, so vote for your favorite riot police, and like I said, listen, we as much as I dislike Mr. Trump, if Mr. Trump wants to come on the show, I would even let Mr. Trump come on the show. I think that I would like to ask him questions, and I know. Listen, I know Putin, I know Zelensky, I know Boris Johnson, I know Trump. None of them are ever showing up, so I can invite them every day of the week, and I don't really care.
And
But
Elon
if
Musk.
they and well, little penis boy can go on the Lost Dollar Business Club. But my point is that I really would love to ask them real, just people questions, not news reporter questions, not bullshit questions,
Yeah.
but just real
Trump,
questions that a normal
who
person
else,
would ask.
Who else who would be nice? Elon Musk also.
Yeah, I'm not a,
Yesterday,
I'm
when
not,
I was, because I was working and I was
right,
reading the Oscars, and I see
right.
a tweet by Elon Musk that he's saying that Oscars are the woke culture. They should woke the
You know
woke.
what Elon Musk could do? Elon Musk should learn that thing. Children should be seen and not heard. That's good advice for Elon Musk.
So you see that he's openly taking the
Homosexual.
side of the no. We don't care. He's openly taking the side of the Putin and all the stuff of
Right.
this kind of
He's a
political system.
communist. Okay, he's a communist. He can't wait for Trump to get here and be a communist
Look,
then. That's awesome.
communist, Nazis, Putin, China now, Iran, those are different colors of one
Right,
thing,
right.
dictatorship, actually.
And
Don't
America,
question the
and,
power.
right.
That's a power.
If,
We will not do any kind of election. We don't fucking need them.
and if
Are you
America
okay? You're
gets,
okay.
and if Trump gets in, America will be under a dictatorship. It's that simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
of course, the people who are with Trump, they believe that it's already a dictatorship, with Biden.
I
But
keep
they don't
saying
really
it.
know what dictatorship is. And it's what we were talking about
yeah,
democratic system, that it
I
needs
agree.
educated people. Dictatorship, in simple word, means that you are not free to say everything. You're not free to
Anything.
question the power that we have. You're not
Right,
free to do that.
right. And
In
that's what will happen
Greece,
with Trump.
in America right now, in Netherlands, in UK, you can go out there and say
Right,
Biden is a traitor. You can
right,
openly
right,
say that. Nobody will come to you. Any police will
right.
come to you. Nothing. Well, do it in Russia, do it in China, do it in
You,
Iran, and
you'll
let's see what
disappear.
happens.
Yeah, you'll disappear.
Do it
Yeah,
even in Turkey. Do it
yeah.
even in Turkey,
Well, they will
which
lose
is
your luggage in
supposed to be.
Turkey. They'll
Yeah,
lose your
you see,
luggage in
it's one
Turkey, and
it's
so it
one
won't
of the
matter.
consequences of the
A
dictatorship.
dictatorship. So if you vote for Trump, then you're going to have bad airlines in
You will
America that are going to
lose
lose your
all your
luggage. Your
baggages all the
luggage. You'll
time.
lose.
That's
There you go when you
that's
You
fly.
will
So
be
all
there's
I
these
traveling
are,
without baggages, and you will be buying all the things that you need in the country of your destination. You'll
there
be
you go.
shopping first day.
I
all I
like
can
it.
say is that when all your luggage has been, if your luggage has been sort of lost and you don't have any clothing,
Yeah, yeah.
get in early because those brown shirts are selling like hotcakes. So get your brown shirt
God.
now. You're gonna need it.
Ay,
Yeah,
ay. And with that, gentlemen, our a week of Adam on the Eve is coming to a close. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe and like. The show is rebroadcasted
it's
every
not about
Tuesday.
liking or not. It's what David said at the his last words. They're gonna
Right.
need it. They're gonna need us because we will be saying the truth, what
Yeah,
to do.
That's
yeah,
we say the truth. So if you're a
Yeah.
political leader,
Don't
whether
be
you're a
afraid.
Democrat, Republican, or
Just
communist, come on our show because we want to hear
exactly.
from
If
you
you
and we
believe or
want to
don't
ask you
believe,
questions. Yeah. And the guy with the funny pointy hat with those cute little slippers that lives in Rome, you could come on the show too.
yeah.
I've got
So,
some questions for you.
so
So,
just remember then, don't be
right.
afraid. Be very afraid.